What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr Wargames, and obviously we're here with Joe again. He's going to be doing his second deck profile of the day, which is...
Renacron, I call it. It's Resonators with Synchrons.
Okay, so without further ado, we're going to crack straight into that. So, whenever you're ready.
Right. The inspiration for this deck is that I wanted to essentially make a Synchron deck that can make Red Dragon Archfiend synchros, as Red Dragon Archfiend is my favourite synchro. I've always linked Archfiend to the Resonators, and they're some of my favourite tuners as well, but I loved the combo plays of Synchrons. So I tried to make a way to fit both tuner engines together into one deck, while focusing on Archfiends and various other synchros, and this is what I've come up with. This deck's had a lot of testing, and I think I found the ratios that work the best. So to start off with the tuners, for the Synchrons we play 3 Junk Synchron, 2 Quick Draw Synchron, and 2 Jet Synchron. You've got to play 3 Junk Synchron. It is your combo maker, it's your main tuner to go into most of your like 5s and few up synchros. If you're playing Red Nova Dragon as well in this deck, or King Calamity or other things like that, it's your best way to do that as well. So you've got to play the 3 Junk Synchron. 2 Quick Draw Synchron, you can buff this up to 3, but I felt 2 is the best because you don't use him as much, but he does get into your certain synchros like Road Warrior and stuff like that. Being the substitute for most Synchrons in the extra deck, you've got to play it. And Jet Synchron is probably one of the best level 1 tuners in the game right now, besides Glow Up Bulb and arguably to me Synchron Resonator. It's searchable, it's level 1, it revives itself, it searches your other Synchron, your other junk monsters. So you got to play it. I found 2 is the best for this build, but you can buff this up to 3 as well. So these 2 can like go up and down depending on your personal preference. For Resonators, 3 Red Resonator and the 2 Synchron Resonator. This ratio has been jumping around for quite a while, from 2 Red and 3 Synchron, and now 3 Red and 2 Synchron. The reason for that is because Synchron Resonator can keep reviving Red Resonator if you use it for synchro material. So at first I tried the other ratio, but lately I've been swapped it around and it's been working quite well, because you do want to see Red Resonator as he kind of acts like Junk Synchron. He just gets more cards onto the board for you to go into your synchro plays. And Synchron Resonator is an easy special summon to go into your bigger, higher level synchros, as well as bringing back resources for you to use with other cards later in the game. So these are your tuners. You do run quite a lot of tuners and it can brick. But there's ways to work around it with the draw power and the mill power in this deck. So for the non-tuners now, 3 Duffel Warrior. This is essentially a new take on the Junk Duffel deck that most people play. So you got to play 3 Duffel Warrior. It's your tuner maker, your token maker, it's your synchro builder. He does like most of the stuff for the deck. You bring him back with Junk Synchron, you can special summon Red Resonator. It's just so many combos with Duffel Warrior. Next is 2 Level Eater. I really do hope we don't go the OCG route and get this guy banned, but I can understand if it does. But at the moment in time, we play 2 Level Eater. You can just play 1, but I wanted to see Level Eater as fast as possible, which is why I play 2 in the deck. He's your constant reviver to get back, using levels from your synchros to go into further synchro plays. Next is the 2 Quillbolt Hedgehog. I really like Quillbolt Hedgehog. It's just a very, very easy special summonable monster from the grave, which is most of the monsters in this deck. They just want to constantly revive themselves. If they don't, they want to give board presence in other ways. So with Quillbolt Hedgehog, it just needs a tuner on board to revive it, so it can combo well with the Resonators, to go into like 4s and 3 synchros if you play them. But I feel like you should play this. It's worked very well. You can drop this down to 1 if you wish and play other stuff, but for now I'm playing 2. For next we have Armageddon Knight. This card combos mostly with Red Resonator, because you summon Red Resonator, you summon this, and then you can ditch a Dark attribute to grave. So you can use him to ditch your Level Eater. And then you can go into a 5 Synchro, get back Level Eater, so then you can just go on from there and make the plays go. So I play the 1, so that's that. And then for the other one is Spell Striker. I've really liked Spell Striker recently. It's just a level 1, it's a level 3 warrior that can special summon itself, and you can search it through Rota, and then just by searching it through Rota you make his special summon requirements live. And if not, you don't even have to do that. You can then again summon it with Red Resonator and go into a level 5 Synchro, and then you can just go on from there. But I really like him. He's just an easy monster to get onto the board, which is what you want. To round up the monsters, 2 Effect Vader for effect negation, and 1 Max C for a little bit of draw power. You can buff this card up to 2, but I really like just the 1. It's just if you have it, ditch it, draw cards, and then you can bring it back with Junk Synchron later on, just do some crazy synchro plays. So that's the monsters. Spells, got to play 3 tuning and 2 resonator call. The reason for 2 resonator calls is because we don't want as many resonators as we do synchrons, and arguably the synchrons is what makes most of the plays, where the resonators back it up or do some extra different plays to go into extra different monsters. So this ratio has worked quite well. Tuning is also a mill power for the deck to get stuff into grave, and so that's that. As for the searching, drawing 2 Allure of Darkness, you can buff this up to 3. I've only got 2 copies spare, so I've only been playing with 2, but even then 2 still works. You don't really want to banish everything, unless you play Omega, you can't really get those cards back. So I'm still just playing with 2 Allure of Darkness, but again you can buff this up to 3. Foolish Burial, want to get stuff into grave to go into further plays. 1 for 1, we play mostly 4 level 1s to use, if you don't count the 2 Effect Veilers, in terms of tuners, but then we also have the Level Eaters. So this just gets combo pieces onto the board and stuff into grave. 1 pot of Dichotomy. This is just the Avarice replacement, because this deck used to run Avarice and kind of needed Avarice because you wanted to get your stuff back into the deck and also thin your deck. But since that's gone, we're playing the 1 pot of Dichotomy. In normal Junk Duffel, this is good, but depending on the 3rd engine you play. But because we play the Resonators, which are Fiends, it's an extra type in the graveyard to use with Dichotomy to then shuffle back and draw more cards. And last we have Rota in terms of searching. We play Warriors in the deck, so you've got to play Rota. Back row, 2 Twin Twister. This deck likes, again, to put stuff in the graveyard, in the hand, if we don't need, and we don't like back row at all, because we do use a lot of resources. Yes, they're recoverable resources, but there's still a lot to go into our extra deck and to get our big boards, so we don't want to have back row interfering with it. Instant Fusion for Norden, you can buff this up to 2 if you want to see it faster, but I just play the 1. And then Soul Charge and Dark Hole. Dark Hole, board wipes, you can replace this with Brigeki, and Soul Charge, it's broken in this deck. You just get back tons of stuff. If you make a big board and they get rid of it, so next turn Soul Charge, bring it all back. And some of the monsters in this deck you can bring back other stuff that by themselves, so there's less stuff for you to pay for Soul Charge. So that's the main deck. Extra deck, Norden, Instant Fusion, Synchros. For 2 we have Formula Synchron, Draw Power, Consistency, Tuner, all that stuff. Tatsunoko, 1 level up from, this is kind of like the theme of the extra deck. You want to go like 1 or 2 levels up, so you have all the levels in your disposal to go into, so it makes your cards less dead. So I went Tatsunoko, it's another tuner, it can use stuff from the hand. Level 3 is very easy to do, especially with Red Resonator, so you play Tatsunoko. For 5s we have the Excel Synchron and TG Hyper Librarian. Excel Synchron gets stuff into graveyard, he's a level manipulator for himself, level 5 so it's easy to make. and you can just go Synchro Climb into your extra deck, into your other Synchros. Hyper Librarian, he's using every Synchro deck. It's just draw power, it's consistency, he's got a good attack power, and you can Synchro Climb with him as well. For 6s, Charge Warrior and Coral Dragon. Charge Warrior and Coral Dragon, they both do the same thing, they're both consistency, except one's a tuner and one's not. So you can, with Coral Dragon, play, Ultimaya in the deck, but I personally don't play Ultimaya, but there's some things you can take out for it if you so wish.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly, so obviously these are the two kind of main level 6s, would you say? Synchro monsters, right? Now, just in a couple of decks that I've built, I've had to choose, or I tried to choose between one or the other.
Yes.
I know there's not a definitive answer, because obviously the way you've got to look at it is Stardust gives you that extra draw.
Yeah.
Coral gives you that draw when it leaves the field, but it has the ability to discard and pop.
Yeah.
So would you say that Coral is more relevant in a deck that doesn't mind discarding, but if a deck has no hand or relies on less of a hand, you'd go with Stardust?
Yeah, I would actually say that that's actually quite perfect. For this, the thing with this deck is that it kind of wants to use both, so this is why I've gone for these. Otherwise, the third option would have been my quick draw target of Junk Gardener, but I've taken that out and managed to play around it without using it and gone for these two. But you're absolutely right. If your deck needs just draw power while making synchros, I would suggest Charge Warrior. Yeah, he's not as strong as Coral and he doesn't remove boards as easily. But if your deck can go around that and summon other monsters to get rid of those threats, Charge Warrior can just punch in for 2,000. Otherwise, yes, I would go for Coral Dragon. If you like to get stuff into the graveyard, if you like synchroing further using your plays that you've already made, then yes, definitely go for Coral Dragon. But yeah, that's those for 6s. For 7s, Clearing, Synchro, and Junk Berserker. This is where we get into we now need targets for Quick Draw Synchron to make because of his condition. I've gone with Junk Berserker because he's a piercer. I think he's a piercer, it's been quite a while. No, he just kills any monster in defense mode. He can reduce monsters' attack points by banishing stuff from grave. So he can get over big threats. The only problem is that he targets. And Clearing, in my eyes, he's the best level 7 synchro besides Moonlight Dragon. He just gets over threats, he stuns your opponent because they have to think twice now on what they activate, and that kind of thing, so I've gone for Clearing. 8s, we run 3 8s, which is Road Warrior. Again, quick draw target, but he also swarms the board, gets your Doppel Warriors out, gets your Jet Synchrons out. So I play Road Warrior. Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon. Probably one of the most best synchros in the game at the moment, next to a Scarlight Archfiend. These two are the synchros that you will see in most decks nowadays just because they're so strong. Crystal Ring just gets over any threats. He's a negator, he's a stunner, while also being a 3k beat stick. And Scarlight just board wipes, does damage, and just punches quite hard. For 9s, Abyss and Trishula. Again, I wanted to go with the theme, just bringing out as many Archfiends as possible. And Abyss is just too good. He's so easy to make. Just takes a Dark Dragon, which our only target is Scarlight, but Scarlight's so easy to bring out. Negates anything on the field once per turn, and if he does damage, he can bring back your tuners, so you can go into further synchro plays. Trishula, we all know Trishula just gets over any threats in the game and just annoys the opponent. And to round it up, we have Archfiend Bane. You can take this out for not that. Tyrant. These two I'm switching around to see which one I play the most. So far it's been Bane, and Bane's just too good. He can use the Doppel tokens to bring back your Archfiend. So just by making Bane, you get 2 synchros out. And Again, when he does damage, he brings back 2 tuners, one from grave and one from deck. They just have to be of the same level. Luckily for us, we do play multiples of the same level, so we can bring out 2 junk synchrons, 2 quick draws, level 1s, 2 red resonators. So we can just do a lot of plays with Bane, as well, just being a big 3500 beat stick, who again revives Archfiends. And Tyrant, he just wipes out boards. He just completely wipes out everything. He's a spell and trap negation during the battle phase, which is probably the only little downside that is in the battle phase, but still. And again, a 3500 beat stick. And that's the deck, people. The thing with this deck is that I just say is like experiment with the extra deck. I don't want to say that the main deck is already built for you, but this is one that I've been testing a lot, as it was just a big project that I wanted to get done. But the extra deck is all up to you. These are just ones that I've picked, and using styles that I like, which is summon big dragons, punch you in the face, and go for game. You can change this around though into like a Stardust stun variant, which then plays Stardust and Shooting Star. You can also go into things like Quasar and that kind of thing. So experiment how you wish.
So that is Joe's second deck. I think his next one wants to be DDD, so we're going to crack straight on with that. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out all our other videos available. As always, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner. So thanks for watching this video. We hope you can join us some more. And as always, happy dueling, guys.